Everybody, our names out, because I know both sergeants have ran across me already.
You know we're cops, right?
Yeah, I know y'all are cops. Y'all can find out anything, of course, like that. Right. So I mean, yeah.
So I mean,
just making sure. So
it don't bother me. You don't affect my job one way or another.
Yeah, exactly. And see, that's the attitude that y'all that you should have. You know what I mean?
I've been doing this for 20+ years. I've never had one complaint.
Yeah.
Other than normal stuff. But
what's your name and badge number? It's
you know what? Because I'm feeling all right. I'll tell you, Corporal Babin.
Corporal Babin. And your badge number?
Huh?
What's your badge
I'm
number?
not giving you.
You can give me your badge. Oh,
no,
don't start making yourself look bad, dude. Come on.
I can't because it's tied to our social security number. I'm not giving you that.
Oh, you can give it, dude. So if I had to make a complaint, I just tell them your name or what?
Yeah, you can.
Just tell them just straight your name? All right. Can you tell me what happened on scene right here? You know that's public information too, right?
Not when it involves HIPAA.
It's HIPAA. Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
Got called to a suspicious female. I'll put it that way.
Suspicious female.
Yep.
All right.
That's the best I can give you, man. Then our policy.
It's not
I
y'all's
already
policy?
looked at that.
Yeah.
I was already prepared for all this.
You're prepared for it?
But because you were talking.
Yeah.
Talking.
Yeah. Well, I'm not one of these. I'm not going to start yelling and cussing at you.
No,
if you give it to me, I'm going to give it to you.
And that's why whenever I saw y'all, I wanted to make sure I saw y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Legitimately, I want to know that y'all are okay.
You give respect, you get respect.
That's exactly right.
You give respect, you get respect. I mean, that's the way it should be. Yeah. But I've been studying law for a long time.
Like, you have a law degree?
Don't have a law degree, but you don't need a law degree to know the law. No. You don't need a law degree to know the law.
Okay. All right. So I'll give you that. There are still a few bad apples. Don't get me
deny.
wrong.
Yeah, no doubt in that. No doubt.
Every job you can find that one, because you're on camera, butt.
Yeah.
That one butthole, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I would, 95% of us are out here actually legitimately doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're legitimately trying to do, I applaud you.
Mm-hmm. But what we get a lot of is like when we walk up to the stops, getting pushed back. You know what I mean? Like even y'all right there, I could walk right by y'all.
You could.
There's nothing stopping me. We could film cars. Like she just got hit the other day for filming inside the car. She got told you can't film inside of y'all's cars. We could film inside y'all's cars.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So even if my CAD screen is up, there's nothing illegal about what's on my CAD screen. You can film it all day long.
Right.
There's no confidential information that's put across that CAD screen because if it's subpoenaed, they have to submit that file card to court, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I did see you talking to Brumfield the other day. He lifted up his computer. Well, I told
him he shouldn't do that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I told him he shouldn't do
Doesn't
that.
matter. Does not matter because there's nothing confidential on there.
Yeah.
Google is amazing, right? You can find plates, information.
Just like you said a while ago, there is no secrets. There is no secrets.
Yes. Is it easier? Yeah. But sometimes on a hot call, you know what? Suck it up. My computer's going to be open.
Yeah.
Because I just don't care if it's open or down. I got to deal with what I got to deal with.
Right. Of course.
You want to film it? Bro, look.
Go
by
right
all
on
means,
ahead. Yeah, go right on ahead.
Handle your business, man.
But you'd be surprised the kickback we get, though. I mean, I don't know if it's an ego thing for most officers. Like, hey, you can't do that. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's an ego thing. You know, or their pride won't let them past it, or But it is an issue, and it was just a few days ago. It happened again.
Hey, mate.
Too. Huh?
Hey, mate. I watch all y'all's videos.
See, pretty smart, huh? They pay attention. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can't just walk in and demand to speak to my immediate supervisor, right?
Some people don't want to do that. They want a complaint form that they could pick up and take home and fill out and then bring it back.
The way it works.
Taxpayers pay for those cameras. We should be able to put in a FOIA request.
Taxpayers don't pay for these cameras.
How did you guys get the money?
Federal government. It was a grant by DOJ.
Who pays the federal government?
It's a good question.
The taxpayers.
The taxpayers.
See,
It all boils down to the taxpayers.
The taxpayers pay the
I don't
federal
know.
government.
No.
That's how they keep it.
It's no different. So just for you to get body cameras of this interaction, it wouldn't be available.
You hear those people?
So
that's crazy. Well, that's why we have and most people should record their own interactions because that footage have immediate access to. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. That's what's good, because even in other departments in other cities and states, their body cam footage usually disappears or it gets muted, or in those categories, the ones that we are allowed to get.
So these are strictly used for, like, we can't even review our body cam as evidence, like to go back and look at to type.
Cameras don't lie. Seems like that'd be the first thing they go to.
We just can't. It's stored. If it's a major crime that we think may come in later for down the road for court, then we can tag it. So it can be saved. But if not, like this interaction will be...
Because it was nothing that happened.
Exactly. It's two people talking.
Yeah.
Or, well, three people. Okay, so, later, bro.
And I know the laws...
Somebody.
Where's the lights and sirens?
Doesn't matter. You don't have to run lights and sirens.
That's bullshit.
Why?
That's bullshit. It happens if somebody's riding a bike down the street and they decide to cut out and that car's flying up behind them.
They're at fault regardless.
Huh?
They're at fault regardless.
Who's at fault?
That's what I said. Who's at fault?
The person on the bike.
Okay, what happens if somebody's driving in that right lane, just like me the other day? If I'm driving in that right lane and they almost take off my back bumper.
Lights to get over.
He did not do that.
But there was nobody there.
But he didn't do it when I was there.
So,
and that's bullshit.
So,
it should y'all get training on de-escalation. That was complete opposite.
Some departments
Y'all are supposed to. Y'all are supposed to.
You need to. Not you in particular, but yes.
Y'all are supposed to, yeah.
Have training on that.
I mean, there's some stuff out there that we get, but problem is people when people say de-escalation, and I'm not saying you in that particular incident, but great, that's a great word, de-escalation.
Yeah.
What happens when the other person doesn't want to?
When the other
you see what I'm saying though?
But I never raise my voice. I talk like I talk right now. You know what I mean?
He didn't want to, right? So de-escalation is obsolete, right?
Right.
Same thing with us. Everybody wants us to de-escalate. Well, sometimes when I got a guy that done beat the shit out of his wife with her 3 kids in the house and she can't speak, de-escalation isn't really a factor at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I said, de-escalation is great when it works and you got 2 parties willing to do it.
Right. But it's crazy that the other party was an officer.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, again, I don't use de-escalation, which means we have in the mentality, if I tell you to jump, you should say how high.
I told him, I was like, I could walk in between the cars, I could walk in. But then all of a sudden he himself said, well, that would be interfering. And I said, interfering would be me getting between you and your suspect, or me physically stopping you from dealing with your suspect. That's interfering. Interfering is a physical act.
It's not.
Wow.
So let me put it to you this way. Go look up revised statute.
It's freedom of speech, freedom of
It's
press.
not. It has no. When you hinder me from doing my duties, that is a state law.
I could walk anywhere, so that's not interfering.
So
that's
let
not
me put it
interfering.
this way: if I get my dog out because I want to run a car, and you're standing by the way, and I tell you, you're not allowing my dog to perform his duties, which.
But that would me getting in between the dog and whatever's going on.
If you're distracting him from doing his job,
distraction is not interfering.
It is if it hinders.
So if there's a squirrel running across the ground and that squirrel gets your attention, is that squirrel going to be put in handcuffs because he took your attention off your stop?
That makes zero sense because you can't arrest an animal.
But it's the same thing. We're humans. We're wild animals.
Correct. So if I tell you, Daniel, I need you to go over there. I'm fixing to take my dog out. I don't want you to distract him while I do my job.
That's a wild animal.
And you don't. Then yeah.
That's not
absolutely. And I'll show.
So if you had somebody pulled over right here in front of you, and I walk around your car, completely, and walk over here, walk up the sidewalk, and walk around all y'all's cars, would that be interfering?
Technically, yeah.
But how's that interfering?
Now, I know you.
Because I took your attention off of that stop.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's not interfering though.
So you'd have to
absolutely
you'd
not
have
interfering.
to argue that with a judge.
And it's gone to Supreme Court several times, and it's gone. You know how many cases have been dismissed for interfering? The cops arrested for somebody for interfering.
Court, it wouldn't be in our statute book right now.
But they still do, even though that the cases have been dismissed, they still do it just for retaliation or whatever other reason they want to. You're saying now, but it's true.
No, I'm telling you, go look up, just
Backwards,
Google LRS / interfering with an officer, and just read that statute. Now, I'm not telling you I would just do it if I was on a stop, right? And you just showed up and just started doing that. I wouldn't do it without warning. I wouldn't. I would at least tell you, look, man, let me complete my stop. By all means, film from just a little ways down.
Yeah.
But if you don't, technically that's you're actually failure to follow a lawful order and you're interfering. Now, you're from Texas, right?
That's just not true. Interfering is a physical act. You have to physically be stopping the officer.
No, you don't.
Me walking around, it's a free America. In order for you to keep us back,
if you're hindering my job, then that's interfering.
Then put up crime scene tape to keep us out of an area.
That has nothing to do with it.
See, I mean, it's just it goes
if
into circles
I'm
with
on
some
an
people.
active crime scene, and that means traffic investigation, narcotics investigation, all that. All I'm telling you is go look up the law. That's all I'm telling you.
I have.
Have you?
Yes, several times. Like I said, that's why I got a grin on my face, because I know you're wrong about this.
So
if you don't want us in a certain area, you have to put crime scene tape up to keep us out of that area.
That has nothing to
there
do
is
with
no invisible bubble around y'all.
Yes, there is.
No, there is not. No invisible bubble around y'all.
Right, but if I tell you you're hindering my job abilities and you refuse to move, then that
means you have ADHD and you can't focus on one thing.
So here's the thing: as much as I like you, dude, I'm telling you, if that happens between me and you, I am going to arrest you. I don't want to. I would love to give you the chance to just move down. Just go down a little ways. By all means, film. I don't care.
There's so many ARSs and everything behind what you and me are talking about right now.
Honestly, dude, I seriously.
Yeah.
But one, I don't.
I would hate for you to have to arrest me, because that would be a major lawsuit.
You can try.
People have won those lawsuits all the time.
I agree.
See, if you sit here saying that you agree, but at the same time you're saying, well, that's not true.
But I'm still following what my law, the state of Louisiana, has set forth.
Okay, if these people are being let go from that thing, shouldn't it not be part of your policy to do that?
I've never seen anybody sue for interfering. Never here.
No, I mean, people sue for being arrested for the cops saying that they're interfering when they're just walking around this.
That's never happened. That's unprecedented.
But you said that you would arrest me if I was to walk in between the cars and stuff like that.
If you're interfering with my job, with my criminal investigation, then yes.
See, you're wrong.
I'm
sorry to say you're wrong.
But that would be up to a judge to decide, not me.
And that's why all those cases get dismissed.
Okay.
But it's crazy that y'all would put somebody through that and y'all would take the hit. You know, it's not y'all that are paying all these lawsuits to, like, all these auditors. It's this taxpayers that pay all of it.
It's actually insurance.
It's still, city, the funds that come into the city. It's still.
Yeah, but we got to have liability insurance regardless.
Okay, what happens when y'all lose y'all's qualified immunity? Are you still going to be arresting people? Well, some states are starting to pass it through now. Yeah, but if you arrest somebody, then it comes out of, like, y'all's pension. It comes out of y'all's pocket. You know what I mean?
So what is qualified immunity?
Qualified immunity is.
You get to break the law when you know you're breaking the law.
So qualified immunity is basically whenever you arrest somebody out of your knowledge, thinking that you're right. But the law says, no, you wasn't right. But you're a cop, so you get away with it.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly qualified. It's like you said, you get away with stuff that you don't know the law on.
If I am acting in good faith, hence, let's say take our scenario, right?
Right.
So if I ask you, Daniel, need you to move further down, dude. I'm fixing to get my dog out.
Well, I would do that anyways. I don't want to get bit.
One, I don't want you to get bit.
Yeah.
And two, I've got to do this investigation. After that, we can talk. We can do whatever, okay? I just need you to move down, film from there, okay?
How far? How far down?
Yeah. Do you think there's a distance, like 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet? What is your bubble?
Honestly,
What's your
you
bubble?
could probably be about halfway from where we are to my unit.
And with the car pulled over in front of you, if there was a car pulled over in front of you.
No, from that car.
Okay.
Which is not that far.
Right. So okay, but okay.
But it's
perfect example.
But you can't be walking by around in between the cars, getting close to the car, all that stuff.
So what happens if somebody's not holding a camera and they just walking down the sidewalk? They're going to get closer than what you just said, right?
No, I always stop them.
So they have to stop. Okay.
No,
so they
I
have to
tell them
stop
to
on the
go
sidewalk.
around. Hey, man,
even if it's jaywalking.
I care less about jaywalking at that point because I don't
see,
want.
there's the disconnect.
Why is that disconnect? I'd rather somebody jaywalk instead of get dog bit.
But we take the dog out of this scenario.
Then that's a whole
so people have to
completely
stop
different
on the
thing.
sidewalk, wait for you to get done with that stop before they can continue walking.
Yeah, or we can go. Hey man, go ahead and go.
But you just said that we couldn't. But now you're saying, okay, now you can go.
Yeah.
Is the camera is what makes the difference?
No, I care less about the camera.
Then how can other people pass by?
Here's the thing.
And just because we're recording, it's not okay to pass by anymore.
No, it has nothing to do with that. If I have a car stopped here, right?
Right.
And you're walking down the sidewalk.
Uh-huh.
Normally I have an officer with me.
Okay.
That watches for that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And if not, I always look to make sure, one, nobody's out.
Right.
If I see somebody or he's working while I have him out, because I watch him, but I also try and watch around because he's not paying any attention other than what's going on with that car. And then if sudden movement's around, which immediately keys off, right? Now, if he gets out the car and y'all are standing there, Dad's in trouble because there's people that aren't supposed to be here. So that completely goes out
that can
the
happen
window.
to anybody. Y'all don't know who that other person is without the camera walking by.
So if I have him out and I see somebody walking, I will either tell him, hey, stop for a minute.
That goes against the Constitution because that stops their freedom of travel. It stops that person's freedom of travel to go where they want to go.
It's not because I'm.
Oh my God! You're wrong.
No, I'm not.
You never heard of freedom of travel?
You didn't even let me finish. Hey, stop for a minute. Let my dog finish. Or, hey, go ahead and cut across.
Like I said, take the dog out of the scenario. Walking down the sidewalk. If somebody's walking down the sidewalk, you have somebody stop. You will not stop that person from walking by that scene, your car,
No,
and
if
walking
I'm
down
on
the
a
sidewalk.
traffic stop at that point, no. By all means, walk by.
Okay, now I'm walking by with the camera and I stop.
Can't stop on public passage.
If there's nobody, you ain't
matter, it's a public
obstructing.
passage.
You're not obstructing.
Doesn't
You're not
matter.
obstructing.
It doesn't.
Okay,
that's
okay,
not
now
what it
check
says.
this out. Now check
it says
this out.
Obstructing a public passage.
Okay, but because I'm recording you on your stop, that gives me official reason to be there to record you.
No,
I could
it doesn't.
stop. Oh,
Under what grounds?
Under what grounds? Because we're supposed to be able to film our. You agree?
No,
we're supposed
I'm
to be able
not-
to film
look,
y'all.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm trying to learn. That's
Right,
why
right,
we're.
right.
That's why
Oh, I
we're
know,
still
yeah.
engaged.
That's
in
why
this,
I don't.
dude.
Yeah.
I don't want you to get mad.
But did you know also?
Frustrated.
No, but did you know by the First Amendment, it's not only just being able to record. You know, we got to be able to be close enough to hear what's going on. That's in the First Amendment too.
Under what?
We have to be able to hear.
So that's under the First Amendment.
Yeah, it's video, record, and audio traffic
look
stops.
that up. I'm
Okay,
gonna look that up.
So we have to be able to stand close enough to be able to hear what's going on.
But I don't think the First Amendment
It's public
addresses
info.
traffic stops, does it?
It just addresses you're supposed to be able to record.
Just
freedom of press. The
press.
freedom of the press. Right.
Right.
And the freedom of the press is not just looking at a scene, it's also being able to hear what's going on. Just like the public information, just like you said that we can't have body footage and stuff like that. People want to know what's going on in their city. That's what gives us our freedom of press out of our First Amendment.
Okay. So if it gives you the right to record audio as well.
It does, and you'll see. That means that we got to be close enough to be able to hear.
So what about a crime scene then?
A crime scene, that is different because there's stuff on the ground.
Okay.
That puts it in the realm, hey, this is a blocked off area. But if there's no crime scene on a traffic stop, we can walk right by.
Do you realize that any traffic stop is a crime scene? That is a traffic investigation crime scene.
Okay, in order to keep us far back from even a traffic stop, you have to put the crime scene.
Can't do it. You know why? Because the Supreme Court ruled that you have a certain amount of time to conduct your traffic stop.
15 minutes usually.
There's no set
15.
time.
There is no certain time, but you can't extend the stop to get a canine out to search somebody's car.
Correct.
You can't extend that stop.
Dick off.
Right,
Wait
and wait like 15 more minutes. You can't.
Right.
Whenever you pull them over
Correct.
for, that's what you have to address
So
at that
by
moment.
the time I put crime scene tape out, my time allotted stop is gone.
Right, but that still allows us to be able to walk by. It still allows us to be able to walk by.
And I'm not disputing that. You can walk by all you want. All I'm saying is that if an officer tells you, "Hey man, you're interfering," chances are you probably are. And all I'm saying is
but how is that interfering?
All I'm saying is go look at that statute.
Okay, but interfering. Everything I've ever read on interfering is a physical act. It's like I'm your suspect. No, I can't get in between
You've
us.
never read the revised
or I
statute
can't
for
I can't grab you and say, "Oh, get off of
That's
my dad or
battery
my
of an
brother."
officer.
Yeah.
That's not interfering.
But that's
Go
interfering.
read.
That would be
I'm
interfering.
telling you what to go read. Go read the Louisiana revised statute for interfering with a police officer.
Okay.
No, you're doing fine, dude.
Like I said, I know my shit.
You're doing fine.
Yeah.
See, you're saying bullshit, but it's not. And if you want, I'll go get the revised
you're not
statute for
exactly
you
telling
real
the
quick.
truth.
That way you can go straight to it. I'll even
Like I said,
show you if you want.
I've seen it a million times. Yeah, I've seen it a lot.
Give me 5 minutes.
Are you going to be able to pull it up, or can you print out sheets?
I can't print it from my unit, but what I'll do is I'll take a picture of it on my phone and let you read it out loud.
Yeah.
You want me to do that? No. We can stay right here, man.
All right.
So, interfering with a law enforcement investigation, right? That's a title. Okay. Now, interfering with a law enforcement investigation is the intentional interference or obstruction of a law enforcement officer conducting investigative work at the scene of a crime or the scene of an accident, or refusing to move or leave the immediate scene of the crime or accident when ordered to do so by a law enforcement officer when the offender has reasonable grounds to believe the officer is acting in the performance of his official duties.
Okay, now read that first part again.
Okay. Interfering, law enforcement investigation, is the intentional interference or obstruction of a law enforcement officer.
Okay, now listen to that wording. Say that again. Now read that again. Intentional. I'm not intentionally doing anything when I'm standing there recording.
But listen to the last part. Okay. I agree. You're not intentionally doing it, right?
Right.
But here's the catch to it, right? Scene of a crime,
The wording is everything when it comes to law. You know that.
No, I agree. But it also has a lot to do with interpretation, as you well know, too. Everybody can interpret them. I still can't get it, dude. You know what I mean? Something different, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Officer conducting investigative work at the scene of a crime or the scene of an accident by refusing to move or leave the immediate scene of the crime or the accident. Hang on.
Okay.
When ordered to do so.
Right. And that's when the crime scene tape would become a no.
No.
Just because,
Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. All right. Interfering in the for purpose of this section, law enforcement officer means any commission and then it gives the
see, there we go. I mean, there is nothing else after that. We have to leave an area if there is a crime scene. Yes. When you start putting up a tape, you can push us back past that crime scene tape. But if there's no crime scene tape, it's still open to the public. It's still open to the public. That's why I said intentionally. Intentional would be a physical act. It's stopping you intentionally.
I don't think that would fly.
I know it has because I've seen it happen.
If you can show me case law where that has, and I'm gonna look it up too.
Just see what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
Good stuff, dude. Good stuff.
Good
stuff. Yeah, good stuff. But it's an intentional thing. Intentionally not getting out of your crime scene, but there has to be an established crime scene.
But it says where a crime is taking place, right?
But you have somebody stopped. That public sidewalk is not the area that the crime has taken place.
But it's where it's a continuation of that crime.
then that's where the crime scene tape up. Oh, you can't be in this area. We have to back up, just like it says. We have to get out of the crime scene.
When told
but
to
has
do
the,
so.
When told to do so.
Correct.
Yes. But that's whenever you've got the tape, sir, you got to back up.
But
sir,
we've already
had
that discussion, though. If I have to string up crime scene tape, that cuts into my allotted time frame for an accident.
That's not our fault. That's not our fault.
But I'm pretty sure there's wording on the Supreme Court about that. And in fact, I'm going to try and find it. And next time you and I come in contact, which I'll be on nights for the next month.
And hey, we're not going to stop doing what we do either.
No, I know that. And again, y'all aren't going to change me. You know, I've been doing this long enough.
Mm-hmm. So have I.
You know,
and I've been putting handcuffs.
Yeah. So
I've been putting handcuffs over interfering, standing back, filming.
This is what I tell everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If I get you right.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my cases thrown out.
Right.
I want to have a good successful caseload, right?
Right.
I want my cases to be prosecuted and people to go to jail behind what I put them in jail for.
Right.
I don't want a DA to look at it and go, ooh, that's weak. Right? I don't want that. If I get you right.
But, you know, like you said, if I was standing right here and you had somebody pulled over right here and I'm standing right here, that's not illegal.
If I ask you to move, it is.
You're wrong.
Maybe. And again, it's a misdemeanor, and we'll have to see.
Yeah.
And would I put you in handcuffs? No, I'd cut you a ticket. Until you go on.
Yeah. And then that would be...
And then we'd go to court, and we'd see what a judge thought.